Well, that was shit. There's a diversion in Midhurst, and I ended up going back into Midhurst and then not being able to find my way back onto the road, the A272 that I need to be on, and I ended up just completely going around the mulberry bush. I'm just going to pull over a sec. And I've just wasted nearly half an hour going in the wrong flipping direction, and it's quite frustrating because I've been sent down these narrow lanes in the van, and at one point I had to turn around because the narrow lane got single track, and because everything's been diverted, I was meeting a lot of traffic the other way, so I had to do a U-turn and get out of there. Slightly stressful, but I think I'm back on track now, so I'm just going to check the map again. One nightmare. The joys of driving quite a large vehicle down lanes. Well, that was shit. Oh my god, that's taken about an hour to go about 9 miles. Just sent around the back end of nowhere. If I was in a car, it would have been not too bad, but driving the van around there has been quite challenging on my nerves. And someone came pissing around a corner and then he drove straight into the front of the van and just took evasive action. Pretty much ended up in a hedge. Anyway, I have found the A272. My sat nav has got the final destination in, so it keeps trying to send me north up onto some dual carriageway, but I'm trying to go via Tunbridge Wells and Haywards Heath, so I'm going to stick to that route. I might be a bit late at the campsite now, but whatevs. Right, let's chill out a bit now. I've just come through Haywards Heath, and it's been like probably over an hour since I've been able to find a lay-by to pull in, because I need to kind of update my Google Maps on my phone, because I'm using my sat nav to kind of give me my final destination, and it's trying to take me north onto the M23 now. So I'm trying to use my Google Maps on my phone, but there's just been nowhere to stop to actually reset it. So I've just been trying to follow the blue line and hope I'm going in the right direction, and it's getting a little bit complicated. But it's just, yeah, I'm so used to being able to just like every kind of few miles pull into a lay-by and reset the sat nav or whatever. And even though I've kind of worked it out in my head pretty much where I'm going, that's one of the problems with traveling on your own. It's really difficult to navigate sometimes. There's a load of traffic coming out of Haywards Heath, so I'm going to let this go by a minute and just gather my thoughts, gird my loins for the next bit. I've got to get to Royal Tunbridge Wells and I still haven't found any signs for it yet, but I know I'm heading in the right direction. But yeah, this is quite bizarre. I've never been on a road for such a long time without being able to find somewhere to pull in. Anyway, right, let's do it more. Right, I've managed to find the Saxon Shore footpath right on the banks of the Med, and it's absolutely fascinating because it's mainly really flat around here. I mean, I think the weather is making it feel quite amazing as well. I was getting a bit despondent about it. I nearly turned around and walked back because it's about 1.8 miles to get to the banks of the river from the campsite, and it's all on quite busy little lanes, and the cars are kind of whipping around a bit here. But now I'm here, it's amazing. It looks like I can do a little loop here and back to the campsite via some quieter lanes, hopefully, so it could be on for a nice bit of running. It's nice easy runs, or otherwise I might kind of cycle here and lock the bike against something and run along the banks of the river. It's a really beautiful spot actually. Yeah, I'm just going to walk along the banks for a little bit I think on the other side there, I'll put up here what's on the other side. I think it might be kind of Southend-on-Sea and that kind of thing. I'm quite unfamiliar with the Med. Just been talking to a local lady who's lived here her whole life, and she said it used to be like the darling buds of May, but there's this orchard behind me is she said it's all become very kind of industrialized because that's the only way they'll can make a living now. So yeah, you can see everything's very kind of regimented, but I guess that's the only way people can make money out of that kind of industry now. But very beautiful. It does make you wonder how this place will survive with climate change. I'm not sure whether these orchards are going to be flooded really, but anyway, catching some beautiful light now. That place with all the cranes, apparently that's the Isle of Grain, and then over there is the Isle of Sheppey, and that's the Sheppey Bridge apparently. Right, just arriving back at the campsite. Been out for an hour and 20 minutes, about 3.5 miles. Yeah, after going a long way around by the co-op, there is a more direct way to the local village. It looks like the Saxon Shore Way starts there. So I'm going to take a rest day tomorrow, but I'll probably go for a run Tuesday evening if the weather's right, and then go anti-clockwise along the shore. Anyway, I need to get back, I need a shower, I need to get everything charged up for tomorrow for the survey, and turn up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for 4 days of surveying. It's Wednesday the Wednesday the 14th of June. We've just completed the 3rd day of surveying in Rochester Castle. We've got most of it done now, but it is going to run into a 4th day because we found some big loose bits that we had to get off, and some of it's been quite challenging to get to. We've had to close some areas of the castle down for safety reasons. Most of that's reopened again now, and we'll finish it tomorrow. It's about 7 PM now. I've just had a light kind of salady dinner. I've just caught up with work. At the end of the day, I have to upload all the images onto my laptop and sort them out into folders so that when I come to write the report, I know what's what. I can remember where all the images are from. And yeah, just waiting for the temperature to drop a little bit before I run. I'm just going to go for a short run to the nearby village. I can't remember what it is. I'll put it up here somewhere. And then run a little bit of the Saxon Shore, just have a look around really. I'm treating this as a kind of rest week from kind of harder running and training, because I've had quite a few sort of fairly busy weeks, and ascending 120-foot towers kind of 4 or 5 times a day with a kind of 5-6 kilo harness on is quite tiring. You make a sense of like 120 steps several times a day as well, so it's quite tiring work. And I've been getting up at 6ish, and we've been trying to start by 8. Yeah, the commuting has been sort of 45 minutes each way, much of it in like solid traffic, so the commute's been quite tiring as well. But you know, we're nearly there. We'll finish tomorrow. It won't be quite a full day. I did consider staying on this campsite near Upchurch for an extra evening for a 5th night, but I've decided that tomorrow it actually is the proper beginning of my adventure really, because I'm not required to go to site to do any more surveys until I come back from Scotland, which is going to be sometime October, November, something like that, when the weather gets a bit worse. And we're still in discussion about, you know, how much of that I'm going to do through the winter. And that's going to be up for negotiation really. So after work tomorrow, I start heading towards the Welsh coast, and that is the start of my adventure properly really, which is very exciting now I'm actually thinking about it. I had originally planned to go to kind of Rizzili Beach in Nagawa, but it's kind of sticks out on its own, and I'd have to go there and then backtrack again. There aren't a huge number of options for campsites particularly, and I think it might be quite busy there. So I think what I'm going to do is stop roughly halfway tomorrow. I haven't decided where yet, but I'll drive along the M4 and I might just drop to the kind of North Wessex Downs area and look for a free spot there tomorrow night, or a Brit stop or something. I'm literally just going to set off in that direction and see how I feel, and maybe stop for coffee on the motorway somewhere, the M4, and just take it as I go, really. And then once I head towards St David's, we'll go from there. I might stay in a campsite for a day or two, if I can get in anywhere, before I start heading up the coast. I quite like to stop at Cardigan Bay for a day or two because it looks like a really interesting little place. And yeah, just make it up as I go. I mean, the main focus is going to be really trying to spend a good period of 2 or 3 weeks in Snowdonia, running some of the trails that I ran in the 2021 UTS in cloud, so I can actually see where I went and where I fell over and hurt my knee and all that kind of stuff. But hey, I'm feeling a little bit tired, but I am going to go out for a jog because it will help just kind of clear the system a little bit. And I'll take a few little shots as I go, just to kind of add to this little Rochester Castle and area job and exploration. It's been fascinating to be looking out on the banks of the Medway. It's a really interesting kind of environment and sort of boating community along there. Right, so I'm going to shut up before I kind of ramble too much and just get my ass in gear and go out for a bit of a jog, because the light is starting to get really beautiful for the end of the day, and the weather's been fantastic, so let's get out there. Oh, and another little milestone today was that I mean, I've got the van filled up with diesel now, so I can, when I leave the Rochester Castle, I can just head out for the M4 and, well, be M25, M3, M4, and head to Wales. But I actually finally managed to get round to getting my phone to pair with my, the new radio that they put in the van. You have to have another app running simultaneously, which took a little while to work out, but I got it working in the end. So before I came, I had created a few Spotify kind of van life playlists, a kind of van life drive, van life chill, all that thing. So it's been really lovely to be listening to music while I'm driving. It's funny, I think the first 2 or 3 weeks of driving the van, I've not felt like I wanted to do that, because I've just been so focused on driving the van, getting used to driving it in traffic, and then had that issue with the gearbox and the clutch. I've been so focused on trying to suss that out. But I feel a bit more relaxed with it now, and I feel a bit more relaxed to listen to music, and it's been nice to have music again. So I should be listening to music a lot more as I drive now, and when I'm chilling out in the van. So yeah, that's another great thing that's ticked off the list. Oh, and I actually sort of semi-permanently fixed a reading light last night with a low wattage bulb, but I'll talk about that another time. Right, let's go and do a warm up and get out there. Right, so this is the start. Just had to run through a quite modern housing estate, which is quite weird. It's all like lovely little leafy single track stuff, and then you come out in a housing estate and past a football pitch, and then you come to this. So this is really lovely. Right by all the boats on the banks of the river, so I'm not going to go far. Just going to go for 15 minutes maybe and just see what's up there. Maybe meet my previous turning point and come back this way. But it's absolutely beautiful evening water. a really interesting smell here. These white plants and then there's kind of salt water. For some reason it's creating a smell like boiled rice. I'm finding it quite difficult to capture on film what it really feels like here, because this side of the Medway River, the banks over here, feels like a kind of nature reserve. You can hear oyster catchers in the background. There are black-headed gulls everywhere. There's a lovely breeze. It's a bit pongy, it smells a bit, but you can hear some oyster catchers there behind me. And you've got these really interesting kind of boating communities along here. And yet on the other side it's really industrial. You've got the Isle of Grain over there. But this side of the river feels really peaceful. And it's in quite a stark contrast to driving into Rochester to the castle to work, to do the survey. As soon as you get onto the main road, it's just jammed the whole way in. It's like a 45-minute journey to drive in, like 9 miles. But it really feels very beautiful, especially in this light.